Hello, welcome to the Jim Show with your host, Jim. What I'd like to talk about today is some changes that I've made to my morning routine. Now these changes are based on input from both Mel Robbins and Steve Pavlina. And I may have mentioned this before, but Mel Robbins talks about the importance of setting aside some time in your morning where you only think about the things that are important for your life and your goals. And the way I've implemented that is after I take that cold shower, I sit down and set aside at least 30 minutes to just think about what's important for me. So this is a time period where I'm not looking at my phone, I'm not looking at the email on my computer, I'm not looking at anything external to me. Nothing about the outside world and their needs and their desires and all the stuff they want to push on me, right? I'm just focusing on my personal needs, my personal goals, the things that I want to move forward to change my life, and nothing else during that time. And something that Steve recently talked about in one of his videos is this idea of separating your decision-making time from your action time, right? So what I'm doing during that period is this is entirely decision-making time. And what Steve has done for many years, as he showed in his videos, he's used a spiral-bound notebook to make a list of all the actions that he wants to take, his little actions to step forward on the various projects that he has going on. So that's what I do during that time. That's what I did today for the first time, is I made a list of all the actions that I could take to move forward on the various things I needed to do. And so making this video, for example, is one of the items on that list. And then he simply does the strike through, through the items as they get completed. And these are very small items, the smallest step you could take to move towards a greater goal, right? And you don't list out like the entire goal. You don't list out 100 steps to complete whatever the large goal is. You just maybe list the next, 5 for any given goal. It's kind of the idea there, and then the rest just kind of build off of that. So again, do that first thing in the morning. So you want to separate the decision time from the action time. So the first thing in the morning, you're making a decision about the things that you need to do. You're actually physically writing them down, on a piece of paper in a spiral-bound notebook. And then later during the day, you can set out, action times. You can make timed periods for work. There's a whole bunch of different ways to approach that. This is not really something that I have worked on yet. I've heard about it from, many different people. You can set aside a 15-minute work time, then a 1-minute rest, or a 1-minute reflection period. There's lots of different techniques, in order to keep up your energy and your enthusiasm during those work periods. I'm not sure that's something that everybody needs, but I do feel like it can be very useful if that's the way that your mind works. You like to work in a brief, sustained period, on a certain project, and then take a break, regroup, and then go back into it. But again, that is an action period that is separate from your decision-making period, where you make the list. The list is in your decision period. I recommend doing that early in the morning before you get flooded with things from your job, things from other people. Make your list of things that are important for you to do first thing in the morning, and then throughout your day you can figure out a technique for working on them, whether that's doing blocked out periods of working time with breaks, whatever works for you. So again, add a specific period into your morning where you are just focused on your own personal goals. Find the big things that you need to move forward. Make a list of a few items for each of those major goals. And then later during the day, switch into a work mode. Your brain is working in a different kind of, way of thinking. So you actually switch gears. If you try to mix those up, you're going to lose effectiveness. And they're just like task switching. Your brain is switching from different kinds of modes of thinking. So again, throughout the day, you're in action mode. Set aside those times to do action. Work in them. Take breaks as you need to. And push forward with your goals. See you tomorrow.